Hey, what's up, guys? So a couple of days ago on Twitter, I said I was going to talk about the topic of Genesis and the .9 situation, and basically give some light on how I feel about it. If you don't know what happened, essentially a few days ago at this large Smash 4 tournament called Genesis 4, there was a couple of problems here and there with the entire event, not taking away from the entirety of it up until top 8, where you had Zero and the Buzz and Captain Zack and Komori Kiri play their sets with the launch rate set to 0.9 on the setups. And if you guys don't know what that basically means that they reduce the amount of knockback that you take from all moves, essentially, accidentally. It was a mistake. We don't know exactly who did it, but it was a mistake that happened. Komori Kiri realized this during his set with Captain Zack after he figured out that he should have gotten some more of his kills a lot earlier. He checked, and then yes, there it is. The knockback was reduced. So they redid the set, or they redid the game, one game of the set, the final game, and Zack ended up taking the entire set again. However, when you go back and you ask, well, what about Zero and the Buzz's set that already happened? They did not go back and they didn't redo the sets. They continued on with the top 8. And honestly, that made me and a lot of other people upset. And it made us question the integrity of the people in charge running the event. Honestly, it's okay that mistakes happen, you know? Like, a simple mistake like that, yeah, it sucks. You know, it did kind of ruin things, but it's not like the end of the world. It's not the initial mistake that's the problem here, because everyone makes mistakes. So forget about it, you know? What the issue was at the time was the resolution. At the time, we basically were told the setup was played on that Wii U, and during Zero and the Buzz's set, it was set to it was 1.0. You know, it was the regular launch rate that it was supposed to be. And I knew that was bullshit. I called it out too, because I was watching the games with Jake. If you know, if you watch my streams, you know who Jake is. I was watching them with Jake, and I noticed that the Buzz's jabs, Luma jab 3s, weren't killing at 140, 50 plus, while the Buzz had rage. I know that it was on Battlefield, but I know damn well that you're going to be killing a lightweight character like Diddy with Luma Jab 3 with rage, especially when it's fresh, right? So they go out and say, oh, it's, it was still the regular launch rate, so that set doesn't have to be replayed. The TOs said this, and that's where I got pissy, because you can't confirm. First of all, I can't believe they kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say they lied, but I think they were so sure of their response without even going into it and checking. I don't know. I feel like they could have did a little bit more of, research beforehand, instead of just, conclusively saying, oh yes, it was the right one. Because I went and I did a little video on Twitter showing what the knockback would have been like on 0.9 and what it would have been like on regular launch rate. And turns out that yes, I and many other people were right, and that yes, in order for Zero to have not been killed at certain points, or in order for the Buzz to not go into tumble at certain states, the knockback would have had to have been reduced, and we found out that was bullshit, and that really ticked a lot of people off. It made a lot of people upset. So at the time, there was no resolution for this. There was this video on Twitter that said, oh, we're just going to go through with it, and, the sets will still play out and all that stuff. They'll still count. To be real, I know that, some people might say that, oh, wait, is it just because the Buzz lost and everything? I know that people would assume that, why would it be so upset about it? And honestly, I don't give a fuck about that, I don't give a fuck about the results of it. I care about the set being played under the rules of the tournament. If the tournament rules dictate that you need to be playing at 1.0 launch rate, and you're not playing at 1.0 launch rates, then that set is invalid. That they can play it again. The outcome could more than likely be the same, you know, because they literally just played it out on the same settings, so they're both under the same conditions. So yeah, the outcome more than likely would have been the same, you know, but they were playing under the wrong settings, and that pretty much took away from the entire set, and it delegitimizes the whole thing and poisons the integrity of the entire event. We go back to Komuro Kiri's and Captain Zack's set, and that's where things get a little bit rough. Where the Zero and the Buzz set was kind of bad, I think it gets worse when you get to the Captain Zack and Komuro Kiri set. So again, the set was played under 0.9 launch rate, ruining the set entirely in a lot of people's minds. And unfortunately, after the fact, after the set was done, Komuro Kiri didn't shake Captain Zack's hand after that second victory. A lot of people thought that he was just being rude or whatever, but it turns out that Komuro had initially shaken his hand after they figured the set was over when the launch rate was incorrect. But during the second time, I can imagine that Komuro was pretty damn upset over the situation, and I probably wouldn't have given him a handshake either if I just gave him one and then I lost again. Like, no, I would have been upset too. Komuro Kiri didn't even show up on the stage when the award ceremony was happening to receive his award. He was that upset, and he went on Twitter saying that he's lost all of his passion for the game and he feels that he needs to be taking a break. And I feel like a lot of the reason why he felt that way was because there was just no cooperation. I feel like if he had a little bit more communication from the TOs about the situation. I know that, yeah, it's during the top 8, yeah, it's on stage, yeah, a lot of people are watching, and yeah, we have time constraints because of Melee, but I feel like something could have easily been discussed out during that time with Zack, with Komuro, with the TOs, and they could have had some sort of resolve, you know, but unfortunately, they just let it go. They just let Komuro go, you know, and no discredit to Captain Zack either. Like, I love the dude. I love both of them, you know. I'm not taking any sides here, you know. It's unfortunate that this whole situation with the .9 delegitimizes both of their accomplishments, you know. So initially I was really upset about this because before, when I was really upset and a lot of people were upset, there was no response back from the TOs of the tournament, other than we're just going to continue on with the tournament or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. Basically, the answer that nobody wanted to hear, you know. Later on, though, thankfully, Bear, the main TO, love the guy. I love Bear so much. He went back and he said that he apologized for everything that had happened with the .9 situation, and for the Buzz, he offered to have one of his entries to another event that he's TOing covered for free. I think that's a step in the right direction. Let's just say that, you know. Like, I don't think, you know, maybe the whole all of the expense of travel and everything should have been paid for the Buzz and everything, because, like, you know, that's so much money. Like, why would you do all that? I feel like that's a step in the right direction, you know, and I feel the same should happen for Komuro Kiri. I'm unsure. I'm unsure fully of what Komuro Kiri received, but I do know that Bear took a right step in the right direction in, you know, trying to get some sort of forgiveness for the mistakes that happened. You know, I'm not sure who's the one who, you know, changed the launch rate or whatever, and honestly, it just doesn't matter. What really mattered to me and to everyone else was how this situation was handled. Genesis already had its share of shakiness going on. The streams kept on going off and on. That was just because it was over Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, it wasn't wired. It was something they couldn't fix, you know. It was like some sets had some complications going on. Like, there was a set between Con and Koga, Lucina from New England, that had to stop or something, and just there's mistakes here and there, you know. And I'm not going to devalue the entire event, because Genesis is an awesome event. I went to the last Genesis last year. I have my I have my little Genesis card thing still. Hold on. See, here's my little entry thing from last year. Like I love Genesis. It was so great. It was a fun ass event that I can't get focused into the damn fucking camera. It was a fun, awesome event nonetheless. And it really sucks that all these bad things happened this weekend for it. You know, it was a great tournament experience to watch. Things could have been handled better. And in the future, I would hope that when things like this happen, that we have a discussion about it right then and there. I know it's top 8 and all that, whatever, but I feel like things like that should be resolved immediately, you know, and not just kind of thrown under the bus because we have to go. Yeah, no, you know, it's more important, I feel, to the actual gameplay of the tournament and what that gameplay surmounts to years from now. I feel like that's more important versus, oh, we don't have enough stream time, you know. Like, get the set played off stream, you know. Let them play off stream and redo it so that the results can be fixed, you know, so that the results of whatever happened can go down and record under the correct pretenses and not have this little cloud of poison and mistakes be on the record. Like, why even do that? Why even go through that? That's not even necessary. So just I was more heated a few days ago. You can ask Jake. Like, I was in my Discord call talking to him and stuff. I couldn't even watch the entirety of Top 8 in peace because I was so pissy about the entire event and trying to look for clips and doing tests and stuff to try to disprove this notion that everything was just fine. You know, it was really upsetting. You know, and I really never want to see that ever again. Like, Smash 4 large events like this, like, there's going to be problems here and there. Evo had its share of problems. You know, there wasn't anything on the more logistical side in terms of like results and things, but yeah, the way things were executed there, where it was a little bit some problems here and there, and everyone got fucking sick because nasty ass kids. But nonetheless, there are problems that happen in these events, but I feel like this one that happened to Genesis, this is unlike anything else we've seen so far for these big events in terms of like top 8, like big, everyone's watching sort of situations. You know, no biggie in retrospect when you consider what happened with Bear's response and the other TO's response. I really do appreciate them. I was really mad at first, and one could say, like, I don't know, do you dislike them or whatever? No, I don't. You know, I just wanted justice, and I just wanted to see the right thing being done for these players. You know, I don't want, you know, Koma to lose his passion for the game and not want to play the game anymore. I don't want Zach to feel like his set didn't actually matter. I hate the fact that people went afterwards after Zach and was like, well, your set doesn't matter. Bayonetta carries fucking 0.9. Your set's that's got to stop. You know, that's unnecessary. That all that. Oh god, and the buzz is set and everything. A 0.9. Oh, memes everywhere. Just memes all over the place. And arguably, some of them are a little bit funny. Some of them are a little funny. But some of them, I don't know. It sucks having your sets like that disvalued and discredited. But I feel like that's generally the gist of everything. I don't know. What do you guys feel about it? I kind of feel like it was handled the right way. Bear had his big response, and so did the other TO. I can link to it in the description. It was a big twit longer. It was pretty detailed and pretty awesome. So let me know how you guys feel about it. In the future, if I see things like this happen, I'm definitely going to go on it and talk about it on Twitter. I don't want to see mistakes and things like this just run under the bus, just like nobody saw that, like nobody's going to pay attention. No, we're watching, and we expect to see responsible resolution for the mistakes that happen. But anyway, I have an upcoming video coming up, so watch out for that. Whenever that comes out, I'll definitely let you guys know on Twitter and everything. For those of you who don't believe I do content anymore, though I don't do videos as much because I overthink my damn videos. Lightning Rex Slay said it, nailed it on the head there, that I really do overthink my videos way too much, and I should just do them. Like this one, I honestly just had to tell myself, imagine I'm talking to like a fan or a friend or like my dog or whatever, and just do it. It's not that hard. I do kind of overthink myself a little bit. So unfortunately, yeah, I just got to get back into it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Love Bear, love the TOs, love the Buzz, love Zero, love Homo, love Captain Zach. Just in the future, make sure we have these things handled correctly. Make sure we handle them in a more thoughtful, more empathetic way, and not have players feel after the event, and have the spectators just respond in this awful, disconstructive kind of way. Just awful, disconstructive. What kind of fucking word is that? Deconstructive sort of way. You know, I don't want to see that anymore. Hopefully, we can work towards being a little bit more responsible for these kind of things. But anyway, love you guys so much. Yep, expect the Duck Hunt video soon. Expect Undefeatable sometime soon-ish. But I'm mostly going to be on stream, so if I'm not doing content as much anymore on YouTube and you really do want to see me, I'm streaming literally like 3 or 4 times, 5 times a week. So so I'm still doing stuff on Twitch. Go ahead and check that out. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, have a wonderful day. Bye.